What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We got another tutorial for you guys. Has been a few weeks, but this one's gonna be a banger. We got curly hair on top with some scissor work. We got a rounded back and then a high taper, right? So you don't want to miss this one. Make sure to stay tuned to the end. Make sure to smash the like button, comment, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end because you don't want to miss this one. Alright, so right now we got the curly hair on top, so we're going to section that from the side just to make it a lot easier for us to work with. So I'm taking it from the corner of his lineup and I'm just pulling that straight back, and we're going to pin that and then comb out the hair just so we're ready to work with the fade process on the side of the head. So first we're starting with our number 3 guard on our ergo clippers, and we're just debulking right now, and we're going to be doing a burst high taper into the back just so it flows with the hair. It's going to look super dope. So we're just using the 3 guard to clear off bulk. Make sure to be consistent with it and everything's even to that number 3 guard. Go over it a couple times if you have to. And then now after that, we're going to go ahead and take our Evo trimmers. We're putting that bald guy line in, starting from the top of his ear to the end of his vertical bar, and just go ahead and remove that bulk. After that, go ahead and follow up with your shaver. I am using Gamma's Uno shaver. If you guys do want to buy any tools or clippers from Gamma, go and check out the link down below. You'll get 10% off, so you'll save extra 10% off on your purchase. We go up all the way to that bald line, make sure it's nice and clean. And now we're going to take our clipper with no guard on there, lever all the way open, and create about an inch guy line. And now we got our 1 guard open, and we're taking up about another ½ inch to 1 inch guy line above that. And then we're going to close the clipper all the way, completely closed, and we're going to follow up right below that just to soften that line between the blade completely open and the 1 guard. Okay? As you can see right there, we closed it all the way, and I'm going up into that, not going past what I created that guy line, but up and into it just so we have a flawless fade. Now we're following up with a 2 guard, and this is going to blend into that 3 guard that we did earlier. Now we're going to use the 1.5 guard, and we're going to go right below that. And we always start open and then we close. Alright, the only time I really mess with the lever is when I'm using smaller guards or no guards, but anything after about a 1, I just go from open to close. So when I go to the half guard, I'll use open, halfway closed. As right here, we're using the half guard. So we start with the open, going into where we did that 1 guard. We'll go ahead and go halfway, and then we'll go completely closed. And then same way when we have no guard on there, we'll start with it completely open, close it halfway, and then closed. Alright, so the steps are completely open, halfway, and closed whenever it's a guard under a 1. Whenever it's a guard over a 1, we're going just open to closed. Alright, so right here we have our no guard on there, and I'm using the corners as you can see, and I'm just poking out, picking out whatever is dark, and I'm just slowly closing the lever until we fully close it. Alright, and what I really like about these ergos is they have notches on there. So we start with the notch completely open, we go to the middle notch, and then we go to the notch that's completely closed until we have fully removed that bald line. And don't be afraid to move the levers as you need. If you need to move the levers a little bit more, feel free to, but those are the basic steps that I do. And after that, I'm going to follow it up with our trimmer just to make sure we have a nice flawless blend from skin to the transition of the longer hair. Alright, now we're combing the hair all the way down to that line that we created when we were edging up his neckline. And I'm just going to clipper over comb that to debulk a little bit so it'll be a lot easier for my trimmer to go through. He was kind of growing a mullet at first, but he didn't really want it too much of a mullet, so that's why I kind of suggested, why don't you do like a round back, but we could still keep the curls on the back and the top, and he liked that idea. So like I said, we're just debulking with our clipper over comb right now. A lot of people do request this comb, so I'll try finding it on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below for you guys to click on, and you could go ahead and purchase it. And I'm just clipper over comb the side as well, just debulking any like hair that's excessive and making it too bulky. And then I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with my trimmers and make a nice round back, so it makes the hair look a lot more fuller, and it's gonna look really nice once we style it. Now whenever we finish anything with our trimmer, we follow it up with our Uno shaver or our bronze shaver, whichever one, but right now we're using the Uno shaver. Now right here I'm just doing a little scissor over work, just pulling that hair towards the 3 guard that we created earlier, and then what I'm doing is I'm over directing it from the back hair to closest to his face, so that there won't be too much bulk around his ear, but it'll still flow backwards into the long hair. The other side you'll have a much better angle than this side. And then like I always say, if you see my other videos, I go ahead and follow up with everything with scissor over comb. I'm able to really pick and detail what I want without taking too much hair, and it really just helps get a nice transition blend from, you know, after doing the clipper work. If you guys are enjoying what you guys are seeing, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, also the like button as well, because whew, wait, hold on, before I go finish that, look at that side, and now look how it came in. Ugh. Now that's a transformation right there. Look at that. Boom. But yeah, like I said, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like, comment down below if you guys are learning something new. It really helps out the channel. I think it's 95% of you guys aren't actually subscribed to the channel, but you guys are watching it. So I appreciate you guys watching, but please hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like. But I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now. I'm going to let you guys see this side and follow along. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. But what we do to one side, we do to the other side.
freebeats.io.
Alright, so now moving on to the lineup, go ahead and pinning his hair back, getting it completely out of the way. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do after I comb all the hairs down, I'm going to go ahead and start debulking the hairline, so it's a lot easier for me to line up for my trimmers, and I get a crispier line. So I'm using my clipper over comb just to remove that excess hair that you saw. So I'm going to be blending that into the 3-guard, and it still has enough length for the curly hairs on top to sit on. And now I got my 1.5 guard closed, and I'm just going and removing all that bulk on his hairline, like I said, just so it's a lot easier for my trimmers and I could get a crispier hairline, or lineup, my bad. And whenever I go to line up, I like to move my client's head in front of me, so I'm directly in front of them, tilt their head down a little bit so I can kind of see the hairline, and then I go ahead and start in the middle. I just go ahead and dab in a little bit, not trying to push him back, just enough where I can get a nice sharp line, and then I move to the side that's higher, because that side I know, okay, I gotta go as much as I can with the hair, don't push it back or anything, as much as I can, because then the other side that has way more hair I can work with more, so I could go ahead and push that up to end up matching it to the side that's higher. And just make sure, take your time, be super careful, and take your time. There's no need to rush. Just dab with your trimmers. Make sure they're trimmers that are, you know, pretty sharp and could line up. But like I said, these are my Evos. I did gap these a little bit, and these hit perfectly. But I'm just going in there dabbing, not doing too much. And this side I had to kind of push up a little bit because in order to match the other side, and it kind of was looking funky, like the hairline was dropping down from the side profile, so that's why I kind of angled it up a little bit. I typically like to go straight across, but it just wasn't working with his hairline. And then you just go ahead and hit the vertical bars real nice. As you can tell, I didn't push it back or anything. We're gonna come back with the razor after to sharpen it up. And then after I get that side all nice, I go ahead and start retracing back to the middle, and then I follow up back to the right side and get that, and then start working on that. Dab in, sit back, look at it, see what side is dipping, what I need to bring up. So right now, as you can see, I kind of go as natural as possible, but then later on you're gonna see me bring it up a little bit just so I can match the other side. So after I lined them up, I go ahead and recline them back, and then now we're going to go ahead and use my Turkish Razor. This is by far my favorite razor. If you guys have been a part of the channel, you guys know this is my favorite one. If you guys are new, this is a Turkish Razor, super fine blade. You just go ahead and throw the blade in there. You don't have to open up any razor slots or cartridges or anything like that. I butchered that, sorry, but you don't have to open up anything. You just go ahead and slide the blade in there, and it's super thin, and it's really easy to get sharp lines. So if you guys do want to go ahead and purchase one of these, hit the link down below. But you know, it's just super simple. Line up to the line that you created, and then get it nice and crispy, and that's it. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the top, cutting the top. As you can see, his hair is really messy and it's crazy right now, but I like to put that towel around my client's head, just so that, you know, if the hair starts dripping, it's not getting on the cape and not getting their shirts or anything. So I just put a white towel to their head, and then now we go ahead and spray water on their head, get it nice and saturated. I'm combing his hair back because I'm gonna start sectioning. So this first section I took just straight down the middle of his eyebrow, just pull that straight back, because right now I just want to cut some length on the side. So I'm over directing it, pulling it, and see the shortest hair from his bangs, that's where I'm starting. And I'm just going to follow that all the way till I get to the back where the round part of his neck is. Now after that, I'm going to comb all the hair straight down to the lines that we created, and I'm going to cut any hairs that are hanging over, just so that, you know, hairs don't hang over whenever he's styling it, and it makes it a lot easier for him. So now what you do to one side, you're going to go ahead and do to the other side. I didn't mention this earlier, but he did just want a slight trim off the top, so I took anywhere from ½ an inch to an inch depending on the area. But for the back, I'm just cleaning up to what I cut on the sides when I did the debulking with the clipper over comb. So I'm just snipping, you know, about ½ an inch, just going through the back, just trimming it down, making sure it's nice, healthy hair, because he does come in about every month or so. So I'm just giving it a nice little trim. Your hair typically grows about ½ an inch a month, so I'm cutting, you know, just whatever would have grown in back from that month. and I'm just pulling back, pulling up, making sure, you know, I'm keeping that same distance consistent throughout the head, and just trimming those very ends. And then as you can, because I want to keep it longer just so he has that nice curly texture in the back. And once we get to the end of the video, you're gonna see how curly and textury the back of his head is. Alright, so now moving on to the bangs. I'm just combing his hair completely forward, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and turn him again towards me, and I'm gonna pull down his hair down to his nose area, and I'm just gonna clip about, like I said, about a ½ inch, and I'm following that to the left side. If there's not enough hair to cut, just leave it as it is, move on to the next side. As you can see, I moved on to the right side now because I didn't want to cut any more length on that left side. But right here, I took a diagonal section. You're gonna see it right now. Sorry, the camera wasn't focused. But I took a diagonal section to his vertical, the side of his hairline, and I'm removing all that bulk that was hanging over. So when I go to style his hair, there's not any hairs hanging over on the side, so you could go ahead and see the taper. We're not trying to do any disconnected or undercuts, making sure everything's nice and connected. So that's why we went ahead and took that section. And now I'm just gonna comb all that hair from about the middle of his head. I'm just gonna comb it down and redirect it. Oh, what's up, Dominic? I got in my way. I'm just redirecting it and just taking those little extra hairs just so it has a nice blend from the short hair to the long hair. And then obviously what you do to one side, we're gonna go ahead and do it to the next side. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and trim a little bit length on the top, and like I said, I'm taking very much on the top. I probably took off about a ¼ inch to a ½ inch. I'm just taking vertical sections, kind of just grabbing hair. Since his hair is curly, I'm not trying to be too precise because I want it to have that nice curly, messy look. It's not a comb over where it needs to be super precise and every hair needs to be laying where it needs to be. It's more messy, curly, so that's why I'm just kind of going in there, grabbing hair, pulling up, trimming whatever needs to be trimmed. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and take horizontal sections to double check again. And just those little extra details that clients do appreciate. I pushed his hair back and went back over with my scissors and got whatever hairs were hanging over his hairline. And just to take this haircut to the next level, we're going to go ahead and enhance his hairline. I'm using the Tune 45 compressor and also the Tune 45 hair dye, which is the no drip. Lasts in there for about a day or two, and you know, it just takes the haircut to the next level, makes the taper pop a little bit more, and really defines those edge ups that you created from the lineup.
Get this beat untagged for free at freebeats.io.
Alright, so now moving on to the styling part. I'm using Joseph Line's Volumizing Powder, and I'm doing this when the hair is slightly damp. I'm going to go ahead and just shake some in there, get it really in the roots, and then once I go to blow dry, you're going to really see that texture and that curliness come in. So I'm just, you know, dusting it all over his head, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my hands to kind of make circular motions, get the hair really curly throughout the back, throughout the top, and get it prepped right before the blow drying comes in. As you can see, I'm just shaking up, using my hands to do circular motions to really get that curliness in his hair. And once we kind of have it to how we would like it styled, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my blow dryer. I'm using the diffuser on here. This is actually Gamma's blow dryer as well, and this honestly competes with the Dyson blow dryer. If you guys have used the Dyson blow dryer, this is hands down probably the next blow dryer up to the Dyson. But I have it on medium heat, medium power, and I'm gonna go ahead and start doing circular motions and really drying the hair. And if you do see Little Dicky in the background, comment down below and let me know if you want to see a tutorial on Little Dicky's haircut. All right? Nah, I'm messing, but that is my client. Everyone says he looks like Little Dicky, so if you guys do want to see a tutorial on his haircut, make sure to comment down below. see, you see all that texture coming in, and the curliness are really being enhanced now. So that's what I really liked about the volumizing powder, putting that in before the hair. It really gives you that matte look, that dry textured curly hair. If you would like a wet look to your curly hair, you could go ahead and throw like some type of gel or curling cream to add a little bit more of a wet look to it. But he wanted the dry look, so that's how it came out. I think it looks super dope, so make sure to check out the links down below as well. Everything will be down below. But this is how my client came in before. As you can see, YouTube, rough, looking rough and really needing a haircut. And this is how my client left my chair. Bam! Look at that smile, look at that cut. High taper is looking on point, the curls is on point, the round back looks really dope. If you guys have seen him before on my video, his hair was super short before, but he ended up growing out. I think this haircut suits him way better. But thank you, YouTube, for watching. If you guys stuck around this far, make sure to comment down below something that you learned. Dominic in the background creeping. But make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the like button. Appreciate all your guys' support. We're coming up to about 50K. I will be doing a PS5 giveaway for 50K, so make sure to share this with people, get it out there. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Right, I'm out.